Were they becoming more expensive, or were they harder to find, or was the market, big enough where you didn't feel like you were kind of running out of room?
Oh, the market's massive. We never felt like we were running out of room. It definitely wasn't getting harder. I can't say that it was getting, I think it was getting easier because our team was expanding and we were growing. So, with more people dedicated to marketing and more dedicated to spend, it was easier and easier. I mean, really, when I started, we were tiny and there was very minimal effort put into marketing. Especially because a lot of this is word of mouth. And so, in my opinion, to some degree, you will hit a cap. And that is the hardest thing about product management software is how do you most efficiently market to these people when word of mouth is the number one tactic for marketing that works. But in the time that I was there, it only got easier and easier because we actually dedicated time and money to marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a huge potential for this product.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about, I think you look on the website, monetization strategies, effectively, charge $39 or $49 per month for the first clinician, and I think it's $30-ish for each clinician after that. Are there, and then they have a telehealth component and some other things, but it feels like the vast majority of the revenue is coming from sort of their subscription base. Were there any plans or any other ideas in terms of how to drive additional monetization?
That's a tricky one, right? Because telehealth was the one we were working on when I was there. You can't raise the price. So behavioral health professionals are an interesting bunch. So they will spend, say $50,000 going to grad school. They'll dedicate that. But there's this complex around money. And there's, in a lot of circumstances, a guilt about collecting money from their clients. I'm here to help people. I feel bad collecting the money. That's one reason why Simple Practice is so great, is that it makes it fairly seamless to do that. You don't have to continually call your client and hound them for the check. But because a lot of people live in this kind of scarcity mindset when it comes to money, I just spent $40,000 on grad school. I don't want to spend an extra dime on this. It's hard to raise the prices. And it's interesting because they'll charge $200 an hour for their time with clients, but then they won't pay, $70 a month for a software that is going to significantly reduce their amount of hours worked. And so I don't think there's too much room to really increase the prices drastically there. You have to stay competitive.
Yep. Interesting. And
it's so
would there be ways to, and telehealth being one of them, but offer additional products that you could charge for that there's a market demand for?
Yes, definitely. I mean, telehealth was the main one. I'm trying to pick my brain about what else. There's always potential for more products. But keeping in mind that more is not necessarily more in this space. A lot, like you think about Jan, the 45 or 50-year-old, woman who's married to someone who has enough income that she may or may not necessarily need the income to support the family. She's been using pen and paper for the first 15 years of her practice, and now you're asking her to jump on board and enter everything into a software. Is she going to want more functionality, or is she going to be daunted? Is it too much? And so, yes, there's room, absolutely, but is there a demand for it? Not necessarily.
Yep. Is there a difference in sort of understanding that the products are very similar? Is there a difference in the types of targets that Therapy Notes, Theranest, and just go after, whether it be from a